welcome to Ikate's Crossing. Okay, so Mindful Tarot with Rider-Waite-Smith. Now, you could use, I have got a mini Universal Weight, but I want to sort of use a bit more just normal Rider-Waite tarot deck, just to get into a little bit of a thought. So what card? Oh, okay. We've got 9, I said what card, and 9 of wands flew out. So let's, or flipped out, whatever you like to call it. So let's have a look at the 9 of wands in a mindful state. Remember, this is not traditional meanings of tarot cards or anything in any way. I just want to be very mindful of what does Lisa, Mindful Tarot say. Now, you can find Mindful Tarot on YouTube. Esther. So yeah, kind of interesting book this. I love this book. It sort of really gives you something to sort of really think about for a minute. Okay, so just take a minute, close your eyes, and just sort of listen to these words that was written in the book. Okay, throughout the sequence of pips, the wands have seemed to comprise a suit of action, of engaged and ardent response. But the 9 of wands culminates the sequence with an image of inaction instead. In Coleman Smith's original artwork, the central figure is clearly battle-worn. A bandage around his head, Waite refers to the 8 upright wands behind him as palisade, and tells us that the soldier awaits the enemy. Traditionally, this card depicts forbearance in the midst of an ordeal, and our figure is clearly forbearing. We can see how weary he is. He supports himself on his fighting staff, but nevertheless he stands watch. He waits motionless for whatever comes his way. He's here for the long haul. After all of the outward-facing energy of the wands, we should be curious about the quiet vigil of the 9. This suit of fire and will has repeatedly shown us what it means to hurtle forward in life, to pick up the staff in response to the world's call. But now we're being greeted with a vision of persistence and presence. This warrior has simply shown up. There's no action here. He will remain standing for good or ill, for as long as it takes. In his solitary watch, he embodies the fearless valor of the suit by reminding us that it all begins when we show up. Our dedicated responsibility, our willingness to stand forth no matter what. This is where compassion begins. This is where the hero is born. So kind of interesting when you just take a moment to think about what this card in a mindful way is. So just take a minute to take a breath. Look at the image. What is he doing? He's showing up. He's standing guard. He's waiting. He's persevering. He's a sense of, he's got this sense of loyalty to the cause, if you like. There's a loyalty to the cause. But there is no action take. He's just standing still. That's the action he takes. He waits. He guards. He protects. So kind of interesting. So let's dive into a little bit more. So we've got the 9 of wands. Now we're going to sort of enlarge a little bit in this thing. So tell us a little bit more about the 9 of wands today. So the 9 of wands is telling us that we need to persevere. We need to sort of stand wait. Maybe we need to wait for something. We need to be a little bit patient. Page of Swords. To me, they're not facing, so maybe reminding us to be patient, to wait, because we're not facing the truth of the situation. We're not looking at what's going on. We need to awaken to the truth, or resurrect what's important to the journey. So kind of interesting look there. So here we have the 9 of wands. the Page of Swords, and Judgment. To me, this is very much about, okay, we need to persevere, we need to have some patience in the situation. We need to actually face the truth of it. Feels like we're looking for the truth, but we're not really ready to face it in some way. We need to resurrect or awaken to a sense of vulnerability in the situation, is what I'm getting here. A sense of being vulnerable. So yeah, it feels like we're sort of standing guard, we're waiting, we are persevering. So all those layers come into play. So having a look at what is said in the book in regards to the Nine of Wands, we now have this idea and a little bit more in depth on what the cards could be saying now that we've laid out the Page of Swords and Judgment. So in your own thoughts, what do these, when you've pulled out, so the heart of the situation is the Nine of Wands. What does that Nine of Wands mean to you? And then you want to include Page of Swords and Judgment. So when you bring all those cards together, what do they mean? What do those three cards together mean for you? Write in below your thoughts and ideas for you. Okay, this is for you. What does the cards mean to you about today? For today, about you. Something to think about. Okay, so that's it from me. Don't forget to check the links down below. Check the links on my channel. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you know when the next video will be uploaded.